this week's episode of Mr. Wizard's Workshop. Last week's episode was part one of Is Life Coaching a Scam? In that episode, I made the case that life coaching industry as a whole is not a scam. Not everyone would benefit from hiring the services of a coach, no matter how good the coach is. Conversely, for some people, the right coach would be tremendously beneficial and more than worth the investment of their time, energy, and money. In that episode, I listed the characteristics of someone who would benefit from investing in the right coach. I also made the point that while there are lots and lots of coaches out there in just about every niche, to review a couple of statistics from last week, there's around 4,400,000 coaches worldwide, and in the US, right around 1,800,000 coaches. So, sad to say, not every one of those is a good coach. There are people out there who can't find their butt with both hands and a map. And even a great coach might not be the right coach for you. So assuming that you tick all the boxes on the list for being a good candidate for hiring a coach, how the heck do you go about finding the coach for you? This week I'm going to tell you exactly how I approach that, and hopefully that will give you a model to work with. Probably a better name for this episode would have been How to Select a Coach That Is Right for You, but I was kind of stuck with the idea of doing a part two since this is a follow-on from last week. So your action item for this week will be to think about and ideally write down at least the three most important characteristics that you would want to have in your coach. If you get some benefit from this recording, I'd appreciate if you hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. So I have the live attendees on mute. You can drop any questions or comments you have in the Q&A box as I go along, and then at the end of this core content presentation, I'll open the floor up for discussion, check the Q&A, and then we can have discussions and questions. So I also am on mute. This portion of the workshop is a recording which I made yesterday. So I'm lurking in the background watching, just like you guys. I tried this for the first time for last week's episode. I like how well it worked. I think it's more efficient and effective for me to record the topic of the week in advance of the actual webinar and then go full live during the Q&A session. And as you probably know, I'm all about being efficient and effective. I've invested in coaching programs in the past, and I will in the future. Right now, I have a daily accountability group, which gives me the frame I need for accountability, and I'm in a weekly mastermind group focused on video content development, which is my big one thing for right now. So I'm not currently actively in the market to go out and hire a coach, but I know I will in the future. So people don't usually wake up in the morning and say to themselves, today I'm going to go out and hire a coach. Instead, it's usually, today I'm going to try to find a solution for the important thing that I want to achieve, some way to have the transformation that I want or I need to make. So when I'm shopping for a coaching program, it's home in on the domain, the specific area I decide I need help with, and the specific result that I want to achieve. I wouldn't hire a weight loss coach if the result that I want to achieve is growing my mailing list to 10,000 warm contacts. So there are coaches out there that seem to be positioning themselves as general practitioners, i.e. whatever result you want to achieve or whatever thing you want to avoid, whatever it is, they can get you there. So I think that's bullshit. The marketing message that many of those folks have is some generic thing like harness the power of the universe, release your inner goddess, master the secret law of attraction, and then magically get any result that you want. That kind of thing just makes me laugh. But in general, I'm fine with woo. I've had a meditation practice of some kind for many years. I do yoga, breathing, and energizing exercises. I used to teach yoga at one time, hatha yoga, and I even meditate on opening and balancing all of my chakras. So while I wouldn't be in the market for it myself, because I'm happy with the spiritual practices I have in place, I'm fine with a coaching program that teaches specific spiritual practices and techniques with a defined goal. What chaps my ass is metaphysical twits that peddle vague principles and feel-good messages. The secrets of the universe revealed for the first time. Okay, so I'm done with my little mini rant. I don't put a lot of weight on when I'm looking for a coach on advanced degrees, certifications, or even books they've read. These might be nice to see, but are not a deciding factor for me. I have a lot more to say on the subject of coaching certifications, but I don't want to go into that right now. I'm going to focus next week's workshop episode specifically on that topic, and I'll have some things to say about that might surprise you. And I'm not going to name that episode Part 3. To this point, I've been focusing more on what I don't want or what isn't important to me. Now I'm going to list the 10 things I'm specifically looking for. Number 1, have a proven track record of getting things done and supporting other people in getting things done. I believe that the most critical qualification for a coach, or at least a business coach, which is the lens that I view the coaching world through, is relevant experience regarding the goal at hand. Number 2, have a positive attitude, including believing in and actively supporting me and my goals. They should be able to have and hold a vision of my future self. Number 3, I want someone who's empathetic and an active listener. This includes the skill of asking the right questions to help me drill down and find the problem behind the problem. Number 4, I want someone that's expert or at least highly skilled in problem solving. I want someone that can help me identify and track problems, consider solution options, and help me select the correct solutions and to develop and follow it. Number 5, have the ability and willingness to provide direct and candid feedback to me. Someone who would be willing and able to hold me accountable. So a combination of kind and heart-centered, but with straightforward, able to provide straightforward, non-judgmental feedback when needed is ideal. Someone with a sense of humor is also a big plus for me since I do have one. Number 6, the ability to help me clarify what I want to achieve and what I want to avoid and what my best next step is. While a successful coach doesn't do the work for the client, they allow and support their client to do the work. Part of the important skill set of being a coach is to steer their client into landing on what is the best next step and then help motivating them to take that step. Number 7, I want a coach who's skilled in helping me identify opportunities in the domain we're working in, which might not have occurred to me. Number 8, I want someone who's organized, effective, and efficient. Someone who has their shit together. For me, I just couldn't stand working with someone, no matter how kind-hearted and otherwise qualified they are, if they're sloppy and disorganized. Number 9, they should offer a free or pretty low-priced initial coaching call, at least 30 to 45 minutes, so we can have a virtual face-to-face conversation. So it's this conversation that will let me see them in action. They can explain to me in detail their approach to coaching and give me a really good insight as to whether or not they have the 8 characteristics that I just listed. And finally, I want an exit path from their program. If, despite my best efforts, I end up selecting someone who is just not a good fit for me, I want to have the ability to bail. For example, for my one-on-one coaching program, I provide it's a 6-month package. I provide a money-back guarantee. So for the first 4 weeks, first 4 coaching sessions, if someone decides things are not working out for whatever reason, I will refund them the full cost of the program. So I hope all this has been helpful for you. This is my list. I think it's a very solid list. It's served me well in the past and will in the future. But you might not have all of the same requirements for a potential coach, or you might have some additional requirements. So remember, your action item for this week is to think about and ideally write down at least 3, the top 3 qualities that